Hi, welcome to Golden Years. I'm Lori Betts, and this month I am interviewing Judge Kevin Dunn and Nicki Shook from the Medina County Probate Court. So come on back, and we are going to hear what's happening at the court.
Nice. No. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Hi, welcome back to Golden Years. I am interviewing Judge Kevin Dunn and Nicki Shook from Medina County Court. Thanks for coming on my show this month.
Thank you for inviting us.
And I know there's a lot of activities that go on in that court, a lot of behind the scenes programs that you guys are involved in. And I know one of my favorites, and I know Nicki is the coordinator, and she is wonderful at what she does. So the first program I do want to bring up is the volunteer guardianship program that helps my seniors in the community and give them a little bit of information about it and how we can help them if they need our help. And the program's been in Medina County since
2004?
2004.
It was started by Judge Lone, my predecessor, who thought it would be a great idea. We have certain cases that come through the court where an individual, maybe they don't have family members, they don't have anyone stepping up to the plate for them, and their circumstances are rather limited. A guardianship is established when an individual can't take care of their own affairs and they have not made provisions to have someone else do so. So what we do in the court is we'll have those cases, they'll be referred to us. Nicki may go out, investigate those matters, come back with a report. We may find a person is not capable of taking care of themselves, and we will have to establish a person to do that for them. As that person is named the guardian, the individual currently is called a ward of the guardian, and the court acts as the superior guardian in all those cases. So we are the individuals that are entrusted with the most delicate people in our community to make sure that they're taken care of. And this program is really, really good in getting that done. Nicki, why don't you tell a little bit about how someone could act and maybe get a guardian?
So we obviously focus on vulnerable, individuals in our county. It's usually individuals who do not have any family or friends to help to make any medical decisions, any placement, any decisions that would be for best interest of the individual needing assistance. Many of our wards reside in the nursing home, in group home settings, in the county home setting. They have to be a resident of our county, and they also have to be an indigent, which like a Medicaid eligibility, because our volunteers do not handle any financial situations. So we provide a lot of support once we have determined that guardianship is necessary. Our volunteers are trained, they're supported, they attend, appreciation events throughout the year, and we really try to make sure that they feel that they always have the support for any decisions that they make.
And you make it so easy. As a guardian, I was a guardian for Arlene for 9 years, and she was at a nursing home. And I mean, she had multiple personalities, but it was a wonderful experience because I was probably the only outside person that would come in and see her. And so we had our relationship. I mean, some days she absolutely hated me. Sometimes she threw stuff at me. She liked chocolate, so I made sure I was there for her for that. But you people behind the scenes, whenever I had a question or a concern, you guys were right there protecting us too. So, I mean, it's a wonderful program.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions, you know, like you said, behind the scenes, once if they're hospitalized or if they need any mental health services. You know, a lot of our volunteers need that support to kind of advocate and maneuver around some of the services that we have in our county. So it's nice to help them with that.
For example, we may get a case where an individual has some assets, and they may need to spend down some of those assets in order to get into a facility to qualify. And what we are able to do is we typically will pair a volunteer guardian up to be the guardian of the person of that individual, but not their estate. There's two components. Your estate's all your property, all your assets. And we typically will work with the Bar Association. Some members of our bar will step up to the plate, assist our guardians of the person to get the individuals and their assets and their finances in order, and then turn the matter back over to the volunteer guardian, who then can run with the individual from that point forward. It's really incredible from my end as the judge that I don't have to go and run and chase, because I have others that are running and chasing, fixing people to tend and keep eyes on individuals in the community, make sure that their wards are being taken care of. There's a requirement that the volunteer guardian has to go at least once a month to see their ward. And what we found out is that's usually not a problem at all, because individuals are out there seeing their wards a lot more than that. It's like visiting a family member for you. And it's an incredible experience. Having myself been in my private side, in private practice, been the guardian of individuals, you have now a new family member to take care of, make sure they're being taken care of, and ensuring that. You get a real positive kick out of doing it too. It's a very good emotional experience for someone to give back to others, and we're trying to open up those proceedings a little bit more. In the state of Ohio, they've changed a lot of the guardianship mechanisms around. In Columbus, they were having a problem in Franklin County that their guardians were not doing the services that they had signed up to do. So the state of Ohio stepped in and they reissued all kinds of new laws on the area requiring specific training. An individual can only have so many wards, and then they have some reporting processes, some educational processes, and it was a pretty, it wasn't a smooth transition. These rules called Rule 66 rules were just kind of dumped on all of us. And at the time, it did affect adversely our volunteer guardianship program initially. But we've been able to work through a lot of those items. For example, if you had a developmentally delayed child and you've had this child all the way up until the point in time that they're 18 years old, they now are emancipated under the law. Now you have to apply for a guardianship of your own child. And then the state Supreme Court passed these rules. You have to go through all these educational processes. And originally it was going to be only through Columbus you could do this stuff. And boy, I thought it was ridiculous, and I had to sit here and impose some of these items on people that were absolutely would have no problem taking care of their children, had the best interests at heart, and we had to work around those things, create some exemptions for folks so they don't have to go through some hoops and jingles to get their position taken care of.
And you spoke up and they listened
to you.
Yes.
We brought the Supreme Court to Medina, Ohio, a representative from them, and I think the representative was shell-shocked that we put them in our courtroom and kind of chewed them apart. But
which is great.
It came out well for all of our wards and our guardians as well too. We still do things like you had to be background checked, and we do trainings. And we want the individuals to understand that there is some importance to doing what they're doing, that this is a little bit more than just going and visiting someone in a care facility, that you may have to step up for them. In the past, we'll have people work with, for example, a prepaid burial, arranging for when a ward would to pass. They have those things taken care of, tracking down if you had a ward who was a veteran, working to see what services may be out there for that person that they never took advantage of. The program is really very successful, but we're always looking for other individuals to step up to the plate for people in your community.
Is there an age limit on the volunteers?
We don't have an age limit on our volunteers, no. As long as they reside in our county, we try not to, of course, place wards and volunteers outside of our county. Sometimes placement decisions have to be outside of our county, and then we just reevaluate those situations. But I also wanted to touch base too, if any legal issues ever come up in that course of the relationship between the ward and the volunteer, every volunteer is paired with a volunteer attorney. So if there's anything that comes about in the course of that duration of time, then that volunteer attorney can always step up and help the volunteer guardian with any issues that they may come about.
And years ago, it was a lot of the attorneys doing all this volunteer work.
Yeah, and that's why the program was established.
Correct, correct.
Is, you know, in 2004, there was a need that had come up, that there was a lot of attorneys, and we continue to have, you know, challenges in getting attorneys to take guardianships, because it is a commitment, and there is a lot that goes into it. Especially, you know, individuals living in the community alone, and they need services quick, and they're not always excited about that. So these attorneys have a lot of work to do in getting them into placement that is safe. So yeah, our volunteers, though, they kind of take the cases when that's all settled, and kind of just be their advocate from a placement side.
And the nice part about that, the attorneys spend an awful lot of time in their practices, so they may not have that ability to leave and go share a cup of coffee, or take the ward out for breakfast or do something. And we have ambulatory wards that are out there doing these kinds of things, just because their days are chock full. And it's almost, it's an individual who has time to do these things can have much more of an impact in that regard. So the attorneys help and assist to take care of a lot of the troublesome things in these matters, smooth things over, make sure that if the individual's in a nursing home, for example, that the Social Security may be transferred over or worked in a fashion and reported back, so that the ward won't have any issues as to maintaining their stay. The guardians do a great job for us in tracking and reporting back and getting us information about the facilities that the wards are at, stepping up for them for their care and their comfort. And it's really a nice program, because we have another set of eyes.
Oh,
in the
definitely.
game.
Oh, sure. And then at being in the ward, you're protected, because whenever there's a question, like I got a lot of calls from the nurses, okay, you know, Arlene's got a runny nose today and we're watching her, you know, we're going to give her this, we're going to give her that. Now that particular nursing home was very good. I mean, they alerted me to anything. And then when she went to the hospital too, I mean, I got to talk to the doctor, and I'm like, wow.
And just maneuvering the healthcare system is very, you know, it can be challenging sometimes. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made, and that's basically what our volunteers are going to be doing. They're getting calls from the facility on medication changes, any treatment plan changes, and of course, if there's any end-of-life decisions that need to be made as well, any hospice referrals, do not resuscitate orders. You know, those are some decisions that always need to be made as, you know, as time goes on.
It's wonderful that you guys are there to support the program. It's wonderful.
It's an incredible relief off me being the superior guardian, which is a very imposing obligation on me, to have other people out there that I can at least get a little bit of a backstory. We do go out, we do make sure that currently we have about 640, 630 plus people under guardianship in Medina County. We want to make sure that all of their needs are taken care of, and that we don't have any concerns about their care, their comfort, and their ability to be in our community, or even outside our community for purposes of placement for treatment.
Is that higher than it's been in the past couple of years? Or?
It's maintained about the same. We have a few, you know, with people passing, we seem to always add more onto the rolls. But we always are in need of having individuals step up. We currently have, I think, 28 volunteer guardians, or wards under volunteer guardians.
Right.
Out of that 600. So that gives you kind of a breakdown. Some of the other matters may have finances involved, may have private family members, being the guardians, may have a friend that was designated in that capacity. And we monitor all of those cases as well too. We require reports being provided to the court, finance reports, accountings, also physical evaluations coming back to the court, and that's part of what goes through Nicki's office on a daily basis as well too.
You're policed on what goes on and
Yes.
updated.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come right back.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Hi, I'm Ed Zachary with Medina County Veterans Service Office. And if you're a veteran and you're in a crisis, or worse yet, contemplating suicide, I want you to pick up the phone and call the Veterans Crisis Line at 1-800-273-8255. Do it now.
Welcome back to Golden Years. I'm interviewing Judge Dunn and Nicki Shook from the Volunteer Guardianship Program at Medina Probate Court. So we are talking about volunteers and guardians in wards. And Nicki, you have a really good personality. And every time I see you, you're always smiling.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm sure, I mean, you have that warm and fuzzy personality that when you go into people's homes, I mean, you have to be the bad guy. I mean,
right, and I'm not always, I'm the messenger for a lot of not such great news sometimes, but I try to have the approach that, you know, we all just want, you know, as a court, we just want best interests for whoever we are there for. But I also try to empower them to let them know that they do have legal rights, you know, when it comes to somebody filing, if I'm notifying somebody that somebody has filed to be their guardian, that they have rights, and I make sure that they know that. So yeah, it's very, it can definitely have its moments.
Oh, I'm sure. And you know, when you're driving in the car, you see all these houses, all these apartment buildings. We don't know what goes on in someone's house.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
so it's good that there's people out there that can investigate. And I always say Medina County is so good because we're all a big conglomerate that everybody knows everybody and helps people. We're a small enough county that you could be there for people.
Right.
Touchstone for services seems to be the position that the court is in, and a lot of people don't comprehend that our court is more of a court of helping, trying to put services out there and maintain and ensure people are doing their obligations that are imposed upon them. We are not the criminal court. That's upstairs in our building. We work with disjointed families quite a bit, and individuals that need help. No,
families in Medina?
One or two. I've been told. I've been told there's one or two.
Okay.
But it's great to have people like Nicki and a super staff, and Nicki has been doing this job in such a great capacity. She is the person whom, if you're interested in joining this program and volunteering, that you should contact at our court. She will get back to you very quickly. We have faith in her doing her job. We get those individuals that are interested, we screen, we will have a meeting and confer with them to ensure that they know what they're getting into. We don't want to have someone sign up and desire to do this and then not be able to, or have some different view of what's to be expected of them, and clearly understand their expectations. So Nicki, why don't you give them your telephone number?
Yeah, so they can
down.
contact me directly at the courthouse, 330-725-9707. They can also email me if they'd like. It's nshook@medinaco.org. And I will just, I'll take the inquiry. I will meet with them one-on-one. We'll go over like a kind of a book as far as, and that they can take it home with them and they can review it. And I can talk a little bit more in depth about, you know, what we can provide, what we do, and how we'll provide those services. So it's a very personal experience. We just meet at a local coffee shop, or they can come to my office. So.
Easy, friendly.
Yes, yes.
I mean, you have to screen the people because that's part of the job.
Yeah, we do background checks, of course.
And I made it, so
yeah.
That's wonderful.
But you made it a long time ago, was it?
I know, it was easy.
Yeah, I need to update that.
Update this.
When Kathy Shook and Joyce Giles got a hold of Judge Loan and says, we need help in this county. You don't realize how many people are out there that don't have family members.
Right.
And we've had really good luck with people that have been involved in the past and maybe retired. Nurses, healthcare individuals that kind of have that background. That helps a little bit. But pretty much any walk of life. All you have to do is care about someone. And I think we all have grown up in a neighborhood where there may be a widower or a widow on the block, and you go, by gosh, who's taking care of that? The kids move away, or they don't have kids. Who takes care of them? You just, you know, that's the whole purpose in trying to do this and extend a good positive handout to people. And it's just as, if you talk to our volunteer guardians, they would tell you it's just as much of a charge for them as it is the wards, probably more so.
Sure, because you're giving, so
Yes.
you're getting back, and it's a wonderful experience. It just takes time. You know, right now I have to put it on hold because I have a lot of family issues and still working, but I know a lot of the guardians have 2-3 people.
Yes,
That's
they do,
phenomenal.
and willing to take more.
Exactly.
You know, they're willing to
That
take
is.
more, and sometimes they come in bunches. You know, they'll have like 2 or 3 at the same facility, which is very nice because if they're going to go visit 1, then they can go visit 3. But we don't try to, of course, overload. If they are ready and willing, then we certainly feel that they, you know, can let us know if it's too much or too little. So we kind of go off of how they tell us. So.
And I'm going to throw a question at you, okay? So there's a lot of families out there, they're getting elderly, the husband and wife, they do have a handicapped child. I mean, do they do early in life, do they prepare to get someone to take care of their son, daughter?
I think times have changed, certainly, when it comes to that. I think there's a lot of different education now than there used to be way in the back days. So we are seeing, I think, an increase in filings for those individuals with developmental disabilities who are turning the age of 18. I am seeing more and more parents filing versus waiting until a possible crisis or something happens with the older parent.
Exactly.
A lot more proactive planning is occurring.
Perfect.
I think it's partially due to the different agencies out there and the collaboration and more knowledge being readily available to individuals to understand that you can't let that problem go down the road. It's not really a problem, but it's that individual and their needs go. If you don't proactively plan for it, then we have the explosions. And we have those that come into our court. That's why we're there, but obviously the more we can educate, the more we can put people in a position to make those choices themselves, you're saving yourself from having the state make those choices for you. And this is our program here tries to soften that quite a bit by having people other than a caseworker from a county agency now being in charge of your child, your parents, and we're trying to make it more amenable so people understand these opportunities out there to take care and plan for their children. And for the most part, I would say the community's really stepped up, and we're not having as many of those explosions happening. But we just had one yesterday, so it's kind of catch as catch can. As soon as I say that, I better knock on wood.
Yeah, you
because
better
I have
knock on
50
wood.
when I get back to the office today.
But then, as I've known, and being in the business for 30 years, awareness
Yes.
of the children with health issues, and mom and dad trying to live their life, but yet they do need help.
Right.
And I mean, so and with the internet, you could just
Oh,
go
yes.
to and type, what the needs are, and everything should pop up at their hands.
Right.
And they should know that help is at their fingertips.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
At all age levels, from developmental delay to mental health to dementia in older adults. So
What a range.
Yeah, there's a big
Oh,
range
Yes,
there.
the court is from start to finish in life. And in between there, we issue marriage licenses and a little bit of everything. The
Big bag of mix.
Yeah, the job is a great job every day. I work with great people.
That's
We
wonderful.
serve great people, and it's really good to come in and have people happy to do what they're doing. You'll be hard pressed to find grumpy people up at our courthouse unless it's me.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
No, it's a very friendly atmosphere, whether you're there for a meeting or if you're in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything you would like to leave my audience? Any tips?
No, it's just if you are interested in being a volunteer, please contact me. We obviously continue to need individuals that can help, and there's always a need in the community. So.
And when we have our get-together meetings, I mean, the volunteers talk to each other and they share experiences with them. We have a lot of educational speakers to help us through it.
We've had doctors, psychologists, pharmacists. I think we have a pharmacist at hospice who gave a fabulous presentation on
Funeral directors.
funeral directors, and professionals come in and talk about different things, which are very helpful in just the group getting together for these meetings, because you can share information about problems you may have had or a concern you've had or a positive thing you were able to do that someone else can kind of pirate that tool and take that themselves and help them in their situation too. So it's a lot of fun. Those get-togethers are good, and we always try to schedule those at different locations so people can become more familiar with what's out there in the community to assist their wards and others.
And we get fed.
Yeah, we try.
We try.
So if you have free time and you're looking into volunteering, pick up the phone and give Nicki a call. Don't hesitate, because it is a fantastic program, and we just don't realize how many needs are out there.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me this month.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Us.
And thank you for watching Golden Years, and we will see you next month.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.